Hey, very good evening to you. Bank of Japan has their meeting on Thursday and Friday upcoming of this week. And I'm just sitting here doing some analysis on the major yen pairs, thinking, how am I going to trade that if we get a surprise move? Now, volatility, implied volatility for the yen is at the highest of the year, was close to the highest of the year so far. So traders are protecting themselves or expecting a big move on the yen. So what are the three options we've got we can trade? We can trade the US dollar yen, of course. We can trade the euro yen, another big one. Or we can trade the pound yen. Other pairs out there, but I'm just sticking with these three for now. How am I going to position? Well, you know what? I'm not going to predict what the Bank of Japan are going to do. There are loads of fundamental analysts out there who are predicting one thing or the other. Don't care, not interested. What I'm interested to do is put together a little bit of a blueprint for how I'm going to position if there is an opportunity. If there's no opportunity, we'll pass. There's loads of opportunities upcoming the next week, the next month, the next year. It doesn't matter. But what is my plan? Well, the way I'm looking at it is this. Okay, the pound yen is the weakest of the bunch. Now, obviously, that's because it's affected by the pound as well as the yen. But let's just look at it from a technical perspective. I've just drawn a little retracement tool here, and I've not used fib. You can use fib, doesn't matter. I just like to bracket it in terms of quarters. And we haven't pulled back half of the move of the Brexit surprise move lower. So to me, this is the weakest chart out there. Let's put the reasons aside. Let's put the other side of the pair to one side for now and just look at it purely from a technical perspective. If we look at the US dollar yen, however, we can see that we are pushed above that Brexit high, and we're actually starting to do some work in the May, June lows. So it's a stronger chart. We've rallied up above 100, 600 ticks up. To me, again, purely from technical perspective, this is a stronger chart. Now, I know we've got a few days coming up, and I'm not sure actually when this video is going to get uploaded, but we've got a few days coming up until the meeting, so this could all change. However, as it stands, if we get a surprise move to the upside, I'm going to then look to buy pullbacks on the US dollar yen. If we get surprise move to the downside, I'm going to look to sell pullbacks. Let's get rid of that so we can see a bit of clarity. Whoops. I'm going to look to sell pullbacks on the pound yen, purely because the pound yen is the weakest chart and the US dollar yen is the strongest chart, just from the chart perspective. So we're going to move down to the downside, some sort of pullback, maybe intraday. Maybe let's just see if it closes and we get a good solid down move. Something comes out and we get a big bar and we get a close at the lows. Then the next day, look for that sort of retracement trade, hit that short, look for a visitation of lows and maybe take out the final lows. That would be my play. If I'm playing the pairs from the short side, I would probably look at the pound yen. If I'm playing it from the long side, so if we get a surprise move to the upside across the charts, then I will probably look to the US dollar yen. That surprise move to the upside, close at highs, a little bit of a pullback maybe the next day, overnight drift, and then look for a long for a revisit to highs, take up something, something along those lines. I look to finesse that trade and plan that in a little bit more detail if we get the event, but just starting to put a broad blueprint in place, some broad boundaries for how I may look to position if we get the surprise move. And at least then you've got that, then you can start to drill down and then finally cement your trigger, if you like, if and when you get that surprise move. We may not get it, we may get choppiness. These charts may change as we come up to Thursday. But as it stands at the moment, that's the way I'm going to look at it. And that's for me, it's always been a good way of looking at things. What's the weakest, what's the strongest from a chart perspective, purely looking at it from a technical point of view, and then framing your trade around that. Have a great trading day. I'll catch you tomorrow.